And in fact, it's very common for most of the people on that plane not to wear a mask, except for the press corps. I arrived at Andrews Air Force Base. I saw President Trump, along with Hope Hicks, get off the presidential helicopter, walk onto the presidential plane, and, so they were on that helicopter together in those very close quarters without wearing masks, presumably. And then, we went through the motions of that day. Most people not wearing masks. Remarkably, we went to one of these mega rallies, which have just been stunning events to go to amid this pandemic. It's really like stepping into an alternate reality where right now so many of us are limiting our contact in our day-to-day lives, skipping basic trips to the grocery store, and you show up at one of these rallies with thousands of people there, the president's supporters, the president not wearing a mask, most people in those audiences, frankly, also not wearing masks. As we've been talking about, the president famously downplays the importance of wearing masks, and clearly his supporters have taken those cues from the president, even though he insists that he is in favor of masks. We talk about an October surprise. It is hard to fathom a bigger October surprise than the president actually catching the virus that he has been so defiant about and downplaying in the lead up to this election. It's just hard to understate how remarkable these rallies have been, where the president, we've asked the president repeatedly, aren't you worried for yourself? Aren't you worried for your supporters who are there to get sick? The president, the White House have always emphasized that the president is kept at some distance, that they have these intense testing regimens in place to protect the president. Of course, unsaid among all of that is the people who are there taking that risk upon themselves to be in the crowd, not socially distant. The White House has always said, look, this is an issue of freedom of speech, and they are not afraid of this virus. Clearly, this now is evidence that the White House maybe had reason to be more afraid than they have been, and the confidence that they had in that testing bubble has clearly now been shattered.
Our thanks to ABC White House producer Jordan Phelps. And the news already having a global impact. News of the president's diagnosis sent stock futures tumbling. All three major averages looked set for significant losses when the market opens this morning. At one point, the Dow was predicted to drop more than 400 points at the opening bell. The major stock market advantages across Asia slid overnight on the White House coronavirus news.
We knew that this news would have a major impact on the markets and stocks there, and we are seeing that right now. And obviously, again, we are in uncharted territory when the leader of the free world has tested positive for a very contagious, very dangerous virus. Again, the president and the first lady testing positive for COVID-19. We've got a lot of questions out there to the White House, also to former Vice President Joe Biden's camp as well. We are waiting to hear about answers. Of course, it's in the middle of the night, but we understand the White House is very busy right now as we try to learn some of that information, so we will stay on top of it. Coming up, much more news ahead.
You're watching World News Now.
The most powerful stories of our time, anytime. Nightline.
Your mom said, comb your hair. Your dad told you, smarten up. Your dog is judging you right now. And your best friend just called you crazy. We all need someone who'll pull no punches and give it to us straight. Now imagine getting your news like that. No bull, no spin, just give it to me straight. Straightforward news, straight to the heart of the story. ABC News, straightforward.
Right now, at this defining moment in America, with so much on the line. From ABC News, a groundbreaking month-long event every night, taking on this moment for America. Turning Point, the Nightline event. Late night on ABC.
The reality is our country can collapse from within.
You see the white power movement on the march. Klansmen and neo-Nazis, skinheads. It's meant to incite war.
From the KKK to Oklahoma City to Charlottesville, the new documentary event special.
We just need to start talking about race.
Homegrown Hate, The War Among Us.
This is a real wake-up call.
Premieres Tuesday, streaming on ABC News Live.
The Americans here on the ground and the Iraq, 18,000 tons. Patatas. Ismail? David.
Ground zero from Hurricane Michael.
You can see just home after home. David. This was your view.
I figured me.
Thank you. Another week in America, a country facing a new test now.
Wuhan airport, almost no one here.
The last flight out of Rome.
This is the nursing home just outside Seattle.
Dozens of people were just rushed off this cruise ship.
This is ground zero. It is shut down.
Another ambulance just pulled out.
Now they're headed to the hospital.
Time is of the essence.
You can see the ship behind me.
The first time tests have been done here.
Morning, afternoon, evening, late night, 24/7. ABC News, there for you.
Welcome back. We are continuing our coverage of the President of the United States, Donald Trump, testing positive for the coronavirus. That news breaking just hours ago. We're going to bring in Dr. Alok Patel. Dr. Patel, we have stressed mask wearing, or medical experts have stressed mask wearing. The CDC has stressed mask wearing. Does this just underscore how important this is?
Mona, it underscores it in the most alarming way any of us could have imagined. You know, this is just proof that getting tested every single day, or however many times we heard people in the White House getting tested, is not a barrier. It's just that's another way to detect the virus. And we saw the pictures of Holtix entering the plane. We've heard the president's comments, and we've heard him ridicule people who are wearing masks. We heard it on Tuesday night in the debate. And, you know, I hate to say that it feels ironic, but I do hope that this is a massive wake-up call to everyone out there who has been reluctant to wear a mask. I hope everyone realizes now that this virus doesn't care what your beliefs are, and it does not care how often you get tested. It will infect you if you're not careful.
And Dr. Patel, as you just alluded to there about how serious people should take this virus, we know that states are lifting restrictions. We see what's happening in Texas and Florida, where the president enjoys immense support while he's in office. What does it say to you, and what would you say as a medical professional to those folks who have seen the president, who has kind of mocked others for wearing masks? He was kind of late to the game when it came to making sure that he was masked up when he was around others. What would you say to the president's supporters and to all Americans?
What I would say to everyone is that it has not gone away. Summer did not kill off the virus. It isn't, quote, it isn't what it is. We have over 200,000 dead Americans, and we could unify right now. Everyone could look at this and not panic and not see this as a national security disaster and just unify and say, you know what, we actually can come together and we are empowered. It is completely within our own abilities to blunt the spread of this virus this winter. And this just puts a massive exclamation point on the fact that we have to wear masks. We have to take it seriously. It doesn't matter if you have the White House medical team watching you and if you get tested all the time. 27 states are seeing upticks. We're not out of the woods yet. It could only get worse if we're not careful.
All right, thanks to Dr. Alok Patel. He mentioned it. The president, his press secretary said, is the most tested man in America, but yet he was not exempt from this.
When we come back, more on our breaking news of the night.
Now, with so much on the line, ABC News, America's #1 news, is right there for you live on Hulu with stories of strength, stories of hope. Because now, when it matters most,
Hulu has live news.
Hulu has live news. Hulu has live news. And that news is ABC News. ABC News Live on Hulu.
ABC News Live on Hulu.
Watch the news you need.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Streaming to all Hulu subscribers right now. It's being called The most consequential election of a lifetime. The most important vote. And with so much on the line, it demands the most straightforward, news-making, real answers. The most informed voices from all sides. The countdown is on to the vote. What will our future look like? ABC's This Week with George. It all plays out right here every Sunday.
The most consequential week yet of this hyper-political year.
Right as you get closer to casting your vote every Sunday on ABC.
The most powerful stories of our time, anytime. Nightline.